Hi, my name is Mel and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're gonna flip through this recently completed sketchbook. As you can see, I decorated the front cover and we have the start and end dates January 2024 and April 2025. So yeah, it took me a while to complete it, but this was a really fun sketchbook for me. I didn't really get tired of it. I like to start my sketchbooks with an entry page, which has the exact dates. This entry page is painted with gouache and it's a little cafe theme with a menu. It always takes me a while to get used to a new sketchbook. The first pages tend to reflect that, and that's definitely the case with these. Then here we have some pigeons. On the left there's just some pencil sketches, and on the right the sketches are done with acrylic markers. These might be my first acrylic marker sketches. There will be more later. The cats and dogs here are drawn with a brush pen. I really like doing sketches with a brush pen, and even though the sketches aren't perfect, I still think this spread is really fun. Some watercolor butterflies. Something I started doing while in the sketchbook was borrowing books from the library, things with images, references I could use, and this was the first one. And now we're looking at one of my least favorite spreads. It's just so bright and the sketches aren't my favorite either. Thankfully, next up we have one I really do like. On the left page there's some sketches from an anime, and then on the right there's some husky sketches. I especially like this little guy. These are done with a brush pen. The artist Nemesis hand studies. I really like the contrasting colors I chose for this one. These might be the only hand studies I've done in this sketchbook. I really need to do more. This spread was done with Neocolors. I actually filmed this for YouTube. I will link it in the cards if you're interested in watching. These are so vibrant, which I really like. Portraits done with a Pilot Color Eno mechanical pencil. The green in the background I think was a good choice. It helps bring out the portraits. And then we have another spread that I don't really like. This one is from a library book as well, one similar to the butterfly one. I just think this spread looks messy. Flowers really aren't my strong suit. And once again, thankfully, the next spread is one I do like. These are done with acrylic markers, and I especially like these two little guys in the middle. Some random doodles with a ballpoint pen and an Ecoline brush pen. Not much to say about those. More sketches with a Pilot Color Eno mechanical pencil. I am pretty proud of this spread. I always get nervous about drawing expression, and I think this one is pretty cool. And then I just drew some fruit to fill the empty space. Some Halloween-y fall vibes done with brush pen and an ink wash. I also filmed this spread for YouTube, and once again I will link it in the cards. I think the wolf on the left is my favorite in this spread. Some reptiles also drawn from a library book. I think the composition and the colors of this one are nice, and just look at this little baby snake coming out of its egg. some autumn gouache painting. On the left we have the pumpkin I carved with my dog next to it. I remember I was watching Kiki's Delivery Service while painting these. It's one of my favorite Studio Ghibli films. Some mushrooms from a mushroom book drawn with neo colors. I really like the texture on these. I tried adding highlights with the Posca pen, but that just blended the colors. Some brush pen sketches of my dog. I think you can tell the one on the left is the first one I did. It has first sketch energy. I do like the ones on the right though, especially this little guy. Some Dan and Phil likeness studies. I wanted to see how close I could get to the reference without any tools like tracing or a grid method or anything like that. I think the sketch of Phil on the left is the most accurate one. More acrylic markers. I quite like these pancakes. Page on the right is an Avatar The Last Airbender screenshot study, and I even included a tiny little Sokka. In January, one of my paintings was part of an exhibition for the first time, and these sketches on the left and the collage on the right are from that time. These were drawn with a Neo Rainbow pencil. I filmed this spread for YouTube as well, and once again I will link it in the cards. This cat on the right is my favorite. Chapel Roan likeness studies. As you can see, I was not too happy with the page on the left. I even wrote, "This is a flop, sorry Chapel." The alcohol marker studies came out quite cool. I think the one on the right is the most accurate one. More acrylic markers. I really like sketching with them. We have some Pokemon on the left, a Snorlax, Totodile and Meryl. Little Meryl is quite cute. And then on the right we have some sketches of my dog and some snowdrops. This little sketch I think is my favorite. These pencil sketches I did while I was sick. These are also from a library book. The book had like a bunch of wild animals. This wild cat on the right is a little odd, but I promise he didn't really look like that. Nicola Correa-Damoud likeness study. She posted a collage of 4 different photos with 4 different expressions, and I thought they would make for great references for practice. These two pages I really like. I love the look of them. They are done with 2 different colored brush pens and then a watercolor wash. It gave me a French cafe vibe for some reason. I think it's just such a fun page. And we've arrived at the last spread. This is the previous video on my channel. These are also done with acrylic markers. They're just so colorful and I really like the spring theme. And that's the end of the sketchbook tour. I already started a new sketchbook, which is this one, the Paint On sketchbook. I did the entry page, but I do plan on filming the first spread, which will be my next video, so subscribe if you want to see that. I wanted to give you a closer look at the front of the sketchbook since I didn't really show that properly in the beginning. You can see the last page is a swatch page, which I also decorated with some sticker, and the back of the sketchbook has even more stickers. We've now reached the end of this video. I hope you liked this sketchbook tour. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!